You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowing like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the second part of What If Deku Meets Static Shock and Powerpuff Girls. Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Many Dragon 5 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Townsville. Inside of a hallway in East Townsville High. 12 in the morning. Buttercup opens the door to her locker and put the books that she is holding in her right hand into it. Bam. Hey Kay. I think you have some money for me, don't you? Buttercup rolls her eyes as she hears the male voice. She closes her locker and looks to her right and sees a 14-year-old boy holding another one against a locker. The teen boy stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall with peach skin, short brown hair, black eyes, freckles on his cheeks and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow hips, slim butt, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a white button-up shirt, red jacket over it, black pants and black shoes. Kay stands about 2 inches shorter, is wearing the same uniform, has peach skin, black hair tied into a ponytail, blue eyes and thin lips. He reaches into his right pants pocket as he looks up fearfully at the other teen boy. Hey Mitch. Why, yeah, I have some money for you. Buttercup frowns as she walks up to them. Are you doing the Samite CRP again, Mitch? Mitch looks over at Buttercup and upon seeing her, he lets go of Kay, turns to her and gives her a smile with a small blush. Hey Buttercup. Just let me finish up here and we can have some lunch together, my treat. Buttercup crosses her arms over her chest as she lightly glares at Mitch. How many times do I have to tell you? I will not have lunch with you, Mitch. Just because you're one of the few people here with a quirk, doesn't mean that you can do whatever the hell you want. She then smirks as she points with her left index finger, with the back of her hand facing down, behind him. Besides, I think you're going to need your money for yourself. Mitch raises his right eyebrow in confusion and looks over his left shoulder. He then sees Kay running down the hallway and then around a corner. DMN it. He then looks back at Buttercup with a smile. Oh, that's okay. I have more than enough money for the both of us. He then gets closer to her and puts his right hand on her left shoulder. Come on, babe. This is my last year here before I get into UA. Don't you want to be the girlfriend of one of the next top pro heroes? Buttercup slaps his hand off of her shoulder with her left hand and pushes him back with the other. First, I told you to stop calling me babe. Second, I doubt you can get into any hero school, let alone UA. And lastly, you don't have a chance in hell of having me as your girlfriend, even in your dreams. Mitch's smile doesn't leave his face as he puts both of his hands up in defense. Yeah. You say that now. He then crosses his arms over his chest. But as soon as I am a pro, I bet that you won't be able to wait to go out with me appealing. He then turns around and starts to walk away. Later Buttercup. Buttercup's hands tighten into fist at her sides as she watches Mitch walk away. DMN jackass. I swear, if I had a quirk I'd. Hey Buttercup, there you are. Buttercup's thoughts are cut off as she hears Bubbles' voice behind her. Her whole body bushes red though as she feels as Bubbles jump up on her back, with her melons pressing against her back. They feel so good, but I bet they would feel better in my Han. No. Stop that Buttercup. Get a hold of yourself. Bubbles, who is wearing the same school uniform as Buttercup, wraps her arms around Buttercup's neck and her legs around her waist. I've been looking all over for you. Come on, let's go meet the others at our spot and eat lunch together. She then looks over Buttercup's right shoulder into her face with a pout. You are going to have lunch with us, right? Buttercup turns her head to the right and lightly glares at Bubbles. Her cheeks are still red. Bubbles, we're in the middle of the hallway. Get off of me. When Bubbles got off of her, she turns around with her arms crossed over her chest. DMN it, Bubbles. Why do you have to be so clingy all the DMN time? We're not little kids anymore, you know. Bubbles bites her bottom lip as she tries not to cry. I know, but you used to love my hugs. You've been so distant lately, Buttercup, what's wrong? Buttercup flinches as she looks into Bubbles' sad eyes. She closes her eyes and quickly turns around. Nothing's wrong. I just want to have some time to myself, that's all. Just have lunch with the rest of our sisters. See you later. She takes a few steps, only to bump into someone. She steps back and looks at the person with a glare. Hey! Watch where. She cuts herself off and her eyes widen when she notices who it is. Blossom. Blossom has her hands on her hips and is glaring at Buttercup, who didn't see the tears forming in Blossom's eyes. What the hell is wrong with you, Buttercup? Look behind you. Buttercup looks back at Bubbles and sees that she is trying to hold back her tears. Don't cry, Bubbles. You didn't do anything wrong, okay? Blossom's now sad-sounding voice cuts her off. Is it my fault then, Buttercup? Blossom waits for Buttercup to look at her again before continuing. She then looks away sadly with her arms crossed, hugging herself. I know that we used to argue a lot when we were younger. But we were still close, weren't we? Now we barely talk to each other. When was the last time you and I did anything together? She then looks back at Buttercup with teary eyes. So am I the one that did something wrong? A tear then falls from her right eye. Do you hate me, Buttercup? Buttercup's eyes widen in shock as she sees the tear run down Blossom's cheek. Holy, she's crying. But she barely ever cries. Great, not only am I a sick freak, but I'm a butt as well. She starts to panic on the inside as it looks like more tears are about to fall from Blossom's eyes. Come on, DMN it. Think of something to say. She then puts both of her hands on Blossom's shoulders and looks into her teary eyes. No. I don't hate you. Any of you. Like I said, nothing is wrong. I just want to be alone and... Bubbles cuts Buttercup off as she looks at her with a small glare and a tear falls from her right eye. But you're always alone. She continues when the other two girls look at her. You're almost always in your room. We really only spend the most time together is at breakfast and dinner. She then looks down at the ground. It's not just you, Blossom. Bunny, Bliss, Buttercup, you barely talk to me. And you're always pushing me off when I hug you. She then looks back up at Buttercup. You weren't like that before, so someone has to be wrong. We're sisters, aren't we? Please, just talk to us. Buttercup lightly bites her bottom lip as she looks into Bubbles' eyes. Bubbles. If you knew what I thought about when I look at all of you. God, I hate myself. She then lets go of Blossom and turns so she's standing sideways to both of them. It's just. She then covers her face with both hands, DMN it. This is so frustrating. I just don't know how to say it without you both hate. While Bubbles is looking at Buttercup in worry, Blossom is looking at her with a confused frown before her eyes widen in realization and she quickly looks behind herself and then back to Buttercup. Is it because you don't have a quirk? Buttercup lowers her hands and looks at Blossom in confusion. What? Blossom wipes away the rest of her tears with her left arm and points over her right shoulder with her thumb. I heard what that JRK Mitch said about going to UA. And I remember how much all of us wanted to be pro-heroines. So is it because you're quirkless that you feel so frustrated? She then put her hands on her hips and looks at her with a small smile. Buttercup. If that's the problem, then why not just talk to us? We're all in the same boat, you know. Buttercup just blinks as she continues to look at Blossom in confusion. Blossom, what are? She stops herself and her eyes widen. You idiot. What are you doing? She's giving you an out. Take it. She then gives her a forced smile. Yeah, that's it. You remember how pissed off I was when I found out that I'm quirkless. I guess it gets to me every now and again. Bubbles, now with her own tears wiped away, grabs Buttercup's right hand with her left and pulls her down the hallway. Well, if that's the case, then you should start spending time with us again. Starting right now. Blossom caught up to them and looks at Buttercup with a smirk. And we're not taking no for an answer. A few minutes later, outside. The three teen girls are now sitting at a table that is right under a tree. Buttercup, who has a pink blush on her cheeks, finds herself sitting in between Bubbles and Blossom. She looks to her right at Bubbles, who is leaning against her and has her head resting on her shoulder. God damn it, Bubbles. Why do you keep torturing me? She then looks to her left at Blossom. And you're not helping either, Blossom. You may not be almost in my lap as Bubbles, but there is barely inches between. She then lightly frowns. F it. I can never have what I want, but I can at least enjoy what I can DMN it. She then wraps her arms around their waists and pulls them closer to herself. Both Blossom and Bubbles' eyes widen in shock as Buttercup pulls them closer to her. Bubbles recovers first with a big smile on her face and closes her eyes as a blush forms on her cheeks. Blossom soon has a smile on her face too with a lighter blush of her own. We got the food. Sorry we took so. Buttercup. So they did get you to finally join us for lunch. See, I told you that Bubbles and Blossom would talk some sense into her. The three teen girls look up when they hear two very familiar feminine voices. They see Bunny and Bliss, wearing the same school uniform as them, walking up to them with a tray of food each. When they get to the table, Bunny places a plate of food right in front of Buttercup with a smile. So you finally join us. Good. Because it was my turn to buy lunch today. Buttercup couldn't help but look at Bunny's big melons that are stretching her shirt. She quickly looks up into her face with a blush. Thanks for buying, Bunny. I owe you one. Bunny, after giving both Blossom and Bubbles their food, she sits down right next to Bliss. She crosses her arms over her chest and looks at Buttercup with a smirk. Don't worry about it, Buttercup. Just have lunch with us more often and that's it. Bliss smiles as she then places a flyer on the table. Oh yeah. While we were getting the food, we met a guy that was hanging out these. A smirk then forms on her face. I think you girls are going to love this. Especially you, Buttercup. The three other teen girls look down at the flyer and their eyes widen. Buttercup then grins as she reads the first few words aloud. Anyone can be a hero. Townsville Labs. 7:21 in the morning. A white station wagon parks in a large parking lot of a large 5-story building. The large building is white in color, as many windows on each side of it, glass sliding doors at the entrance and red letters reading, Townsville Labs, over the entrance. Mr. Utonium gets out of the car and walks over to a man standing next to the entrance. Naomasa, early as always. Naomasa Tsukachi is a 36-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 11 inches tall with peach skin, short black hair, black eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow hips, fit butt, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a tan hat, white button-up shirt, a green tie, a tan overcoat, white gloves, black pants and black dress shoes. Naomasa looks over at Utonium and gives him a nod. Good morning, my friend. I just wish we were meeting under different circumstances. Utonium lets out a sigh and gives a nod in return. Ah. Agreed. He then looks around before looking back at Naomasa. So, how long do you think it will take for him to get here? Naomasa was about to answer Utonium when a loud male shout cuts him off. Do not worry, my friends. They both look up and see a big shadow above them. It quickly falls down to the ground and lands a few feet away from them with a thud, for I am here. The shadow then straightens up, showing that it is a man standing 7 feet, 2 inches tall with tan peach skin, short blonde hair that's swept back, 2 big tufts that stick up and slightly to the sides above his forehead, thin lips, and his eyes are hidden in shadow. He has a very muscular body shape with muscular arms, big hands, thick fingers, fit waistline, narrow hips, fit butt, muscular legs and big feet. He is wearing a mostly blue bodysuit with red lining around his neck, running down his chest and covering the muscles on his stomach, a white diamond-like symbol in the center of his chest, its side spreading out over his collarbone with red lining its sides. His forearms are golden with fins above his elbows, a blue line around his wrists with a white line in the center, white patches on his sides going down to mid-thigh, with red lining the edges, a golden belt with a silver belt buckle that has 2 red eye symbols on it and golden boots with white lining around the bottoms and a red stylized V-like shape at their tops with white going through the center. Utonium looks up at the tall man in shock. 2. He cuts himself off and looks around before looking back up at him. You came here as All Might? But what about your? All Might has a big smile on his face and puts up his right hand to cut off Utonium. Don't worry, my friend. Thanks to you I can stay like this for 8 hours a day without pushing myself. He then crosses his arms over his chest. But let's get to the heart of the matter. What is it that happened? He flinches and his smile falls a little bit. Nothing bad happened to any of your girls, right? Utonium shakes his head as he looks up at All Might. No, they are all fine and in school right now. He then looks down at the grown sadly. But Naomasa then continues for Utonium and looks up at All Might. You see, apparently his personal lab was broken into. More likely at some time late last night. Whoever it was completely destroyed it, and well. He then looks at him more seriously. They took all of it, All Might. All Might's eyes widen, he uncrosses his arms and he stops smiling. Wait, all of it. He then looks down at the ground. This is really bad. He then looks at Utonium. Professor, did you find anything that could help us figure out who did it? Utonium shakes his head as he continues to look down. No, even though they destroyed all of my work on what I have been working on. And taking Mojo for some reason. They were able to make it look like a random break-in, without leaving anything behind, didn't take anything else from anywhere else in the house and were able to figure out the passwords on the door and my safe. All Might holds his chin with his right hand and rests his right elbow in his other hand. Sounds like it could be someone close to you. He then looks up at the large building. Or someone that you are working with. Naomasa nods his head and looks up at All Might. That's what I was thinking. He then looks over at Utonium and places his right hand on his left shoulder. I'm going to go inspect your lab and see if it's anything you missed. You act like it was a normal robbery and that you called us about it. If the one responsible is someone that works here, then they need to think we don't suspect them. All Might places his left hand on Utonium's right shoulder, making him look up at him. And I'll see if anyone is selling any strange black or white liquid on the black market. He then gives him a thumbs up with his right thumb and is grinning again. Don't worry, my friend. We'll get it back before they use it on anyone. Oh, and find Mojo too, of course. Utonium still has a sad look in his eyes. But what about the information about my girls? About what I did? All Might flinches as he looks at Utonium in worry. CRP. When you said that they took everything, you weren't kidding. Utonium then lightly frowns. I don't care what happens to me. His frown changes into a worried look. But my girls. The world would never see or treat them like normal people again if that information becomes public. He then looks back and forth between them pleadingly. Please, you two have to find all of it. Before they make my girls' lives a living hell. Naomasa gives Utonium a small smile and gets his attention. Like All Might said, don't worry. We will find who did this and get everything back. He then holds out his right hand to him. Just let me have your house keys, and after I'm finished, I'll call you and come back here to give them back to you. Utonium nods his head and gives Naomasa his keys. He then gives them a forced smile and walks into the building. After a few seconds, Naomasa looks up at All Might seriously. So what do you really think about all of this? All Might looks down at Naomasa and crosses his arms over his chest. If it was somebody that is close to him, then we'll hopefully find out who did it soon. But if it was someone watching him from afar, then we have to hope that we find them soon. But it's strange that no one has called to blackmail him yet. Naomasa nods his head in agreement. That's the same thing I was thinking. Whoever did this knows what he is working on. They definitely have an idea of what they can do with both H and X. Why they took the monkey is beyond me. But, about the info on his girls. Hopefully they grabbed it not knowing what it was and just didn't care after finding out what it is afterwards. All Might nods his head and uncrosses his arms. Yes, and even with how scary the first half of what you said is. For the girls' sake, I hope you're right about the person not caring about their backgrounds. He then turns around. But we should get going. He looks over his right shoulder at Naomasa with a big smile and gives him a thumbs up with his right thumb. Good luck to you, my friend. He then jumps high into the air and quickly disappears into the distance. Naomasa watches All Might go with a smile. Good luck to you, to my friend. He then walks over to his car with a serious look on his face. Because if they really do know what they got their hands on, then we're going to need a lot more than just luck. Townsville. Unknown Street. 5:55 in the afternoon. Buttercup, Blossom, Bubbles, Biss and Bunny are walking down a sidewalk somewhere inside the city. Buttercup has an excited smile on her face as she looks around. Come on baby, where is that bus? Blossom looks at Buttercup with a small frown. Buttercup, I know I kinda speak for all of us when I said that we want to spend more time with you. But this is not what I had in mind. Bubbles looks at Buttercup with a worried look on her face. Yeah. We should have been home an hour ago. Dad's going to be worried. Buttercup waves Bubbles off with her right hand as she continues to look around. I took care of that, remember? He thinks that we are studying over a friend's house. Bunny looks over at Buttercup with a deadpan look. So you admitting that you lied to Dad is supposed to make us feel better about this? She lets out a sigh and closes her eyes. Ah. We've been looking for that DMN bus for forever. Biss looks across the street and frowns, seeing a few guys looking them up and down. And I don't like some of the attention that we are getting. She then looks at Buttercup pleadingly. Please Buttercup, I know how much this means to you, but let's just go home. Buttercup comes to a stop at a street corner and looks back at all of them in slight shock. What it means to me? Don't you mean all of us? She then looks right at Bunny. Bunny, you remember the time that you stood up to that bully at the playground? What those 3 kids you helped said to you afterwards? Bunny nods her head with a smile. Even though it was a few years ago, of course I do. They said that I was so cool and that I should become a great heroine. Buttercup then looks at Bubbles. And Bubbles, when our old neighbor's puppy went missing, you didn't want to give up looking for him. Bubbles looks down sadly as she clasps her hands. Yeah, and then we found him in that big hole he fell in. Buttercup's serious look then changes into a smile. Yep. And you just jumped in right after him. You didn't even think about it. You remember what they said when you give their dog back to them? Bubbles then looks back up at Buttercup with a smile. They were so happy. They hugged him and told him how happy they were to have him home. Sally hugged me and said that I was her little heroine. Ever since then I wanted to be a real one. So I could help both people and animals. Buttercup then puts her hands on her hips as she looks at Blossom. And Bloss, even though you like to keep your nose in the books, all of us know it's only half of what you want. Blossom looks away from Buttercup and lets out a sigh. Ah. I know that Dad is happy that I'm interested in science just like him. She then looks back up at her with a small smile. But like you said, I also want to be a heroine. To be able to help people and not just stand there and do nothing. She then gives her a smirk. Something you already know, of course. Buttercup then looks at Biss with a great full smile. And Biss, how many times have you been there for us? How many times did you keep standing tall when people gave you SHT, just because of the difference between you and us? And who was the first one to tell me that I could become a heroine? Biss looks at Buttercup with a smile. Yeah, I get it. I also remember you telling me that I was going to be a great heroine too. She then looks at all of them with a bigger smile. In fact, all of you have. And with knowing that all of you want to become heroines, how can I not want to be one too? She then gives them a wink with her right eye. Besides, who else can be better backup than me? Buttercup then has an excited smile on her face. And that's why we have to do this. This can be our only change to follow our dreams and really make a difference. She then looks into their eyes with a small blush. And I can have the strength to protect all of you. Her eyes then widen in panic at what she said, and then she waves her hands back and forth nervously. And the professor too, of course. She then looks down the other street and sees a blue bus. It has a digital sign with red words that say, "Want to be a hero," within it. She then looks back at them with a nervous smile. Hey, there's the bus. Come on, let's go. She then quickly walks towards the bus. The other girls all have blushes on their faces as they watched Buttercup go. They then look at each other and shrug their shoulders. They then quickly walk after her. Buttercup shakes her head to get rid of her blush. God damn it. Why the hell did I have to say it like that? She then looks back at the bus and smiles. But now's not the time to be thinking about that. If this turns out to be real and not a load of CRP, then we can finally be heroines. We can help people, save lives. A big smirk then forms on her face. And I get to kick some bad guy butt. Hopefully that will help me release some stress. Yes, kicking bad guy butt sounds awesome right now. She then gets on to the bus. Hopefully the ride will make them forget how I said that. Besides, what the hell can happen on a boring bus ride? A few minutes later. Buttercup has an embarrassed foreign, a red blush on her cheeks, her eyes closed and her right eyebrow twitching, as she sits in her seat. Why? Why does CRP like this keeps happening to me? Soon after getting on the bus, that only had 4 seats left in the very back. Biss had decided to stand up and let the others sit down. Buttercup had taken the right middle seat. Blossom sitting to her left, Bubbles to her right and Bunny taking the last seat. Soon more people got on the bus and somehow Biss ended up sitting in Buttercup's lap with Buttercup's arms lightly wrapped around her waist. Blossom, Bubbles and Bunny all have slight frowns and blushes on their faces. They look over at Buttercup and Biss every now and then, all wanting to be in Biss' place. All of them thinking the same thing. I want to be the one sitting in Buttercup's lap. Biss has a blush on her cheeks as she looks down at Buttercup. Are you sure you're okay with me sitting in your lap, Buttercup? Though it does feel good to be held by her like this. Buttercup lets her right hand side down closer to Biss' left hip and looks back up into her eyes. Yeah, I'm okay. Don't worry about it, Biss, DMN it. Is this God rewarding me or something? Or is somebody up there laughing their ass off at me right now? Townsville Park. 5:55 in the afternoon. Sitting high up in a large tree, is a figure wearing a large trench coat with a big hood. The only thing that can be seen of the figure is its eyes as it glares down at the people that are walking around. The strange thing about its eyes are that the whites of them are pink and it has black pupils. It then starts to talk to itself with a male voice. Foolish humans. Walking around like they are the demon species of the world, but they are not. Because they are fools, that do foolish things, in their foolish ways. Destroying the very world under their feet and using my kind as if they are nothing more than their entertainment. But no more, for it will end, because I said it will end, because that is what I'm going to do, and that is going to be me being it to an end. Soon I will change the world and rule it, because I'm the one who deserves to rule, and not the foolish humans, but me, for I will rule the world. The great Mojo. He stops glaring and looks up in thought, But first I'm going to need a last name. Dakota Second High School. 3:40 in the afternoon. Virgil looks around before looking around a corner at Teresa, Ivan and 7 other people. All of them are standing or leaning against some lockers by a door. This is so not a good idea. One is a 16-year-old boy that stands 5 feet, 8 inches tall with peach skin, purple spiky hair, a small trimmed purple beard, thin lips and black eyes. He has a slim body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, slim waistline, narrow hips, slim butt, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a white t-shirt, a red jacket with black lining around the bottom of it and the end of the sleeves over it, maroon pants and white sneakers. Another 16-year-old boy stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall with peach skin, spiky red hair with 3 yellow bangs with all of it sticking upwards, a small red beard, thin lips and black eyes. He has a muscular body shape with muscular arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow hips, slim butt, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a red short sleeve shirt, brown pants that are loosely hanging from his hips, a brown belt, light blue boxers and gray and white sneakers. One is a 15-year-old girl that stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall with light brown skin, straight reddish brown hair that stops at the top of her back, green eyes and full lips with dark pink lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, mid-C-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy hips, curvy butt, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a blue short-sleeve shirt, light blue shorts that stop above her knees and white slip-on shoes. One is a 17-year-old boy that stands 5 feet, 10 inches tall with brown skin, short black hair with a braided rat tail, full lips, a trimmed black beard that goes up to his bottom lip and his eyes are hidden under shades with orange lenses. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow hips, slim butt, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a blue bandana tied around the top of his head, a red t-shirt, black fingerless gloves, blue jeans and black boots. One is a 15-year-old boy that stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall with peach skin, short orange hair that spikes out at the top, black eyes and thin lips. He has a slim body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, slim waistline, narrow hips, slim butt, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a black sleeveless shirt, gray pants and black and white sneakers. One is a 16-year-old boy that stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall with brown skin, black eyes and full lips. He has a muscular body shape with muscular arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow hips, slim butt, muscular legs and big feet. He is wearing a red wool beanie, a lavender jacket, dark red pants, a black belt and white sneakers. The last one is a 15-year-old boy that stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall with brown skin, his hair is hidden under a blue baseball cap, black eyes, full lips and a small strp of black hair under his bottom lip. He has a fat body shape with thick arms, big hands, thick fingers, fat waistline, narrow hips, fat butt, thick legs and big feet. He is wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans and white sneakers. The red-haired male teen has an annoyed look on his face as he looks at the door. How long is this going to take? He then looks over at Ivan. We're going to miss the bus if we wait for this guy any longer. Let's just go already. The male with orange hair has his arms crossed over his chest as he rolls his eyes. Always the hothead. The red-haired teen then looks over at the orange-haired male with a glare. What did you say, you little weasel? The orange-haired teen takes a step back, puts his hands up in defense and looks nervously at the red-haired male. I didn't say anything. Teresa glares at both of them. Will you two knock it off? She then looks at the red-haired male. And you are lucky we even let you in on this, Francis. Francis then walks up to Teresa and glares down at her. I didn't ask you for your lip. I just don't want to waste my time. He then gives her a smirk. Besides, don't you have a certain loser to go get wet for? Teresa was just about to punch Francis in the face, when Ivan gets their attention. All of you shut the hell up. We have plenty of time before the bus leaves. So just be cool, alright? The other girl looks at Francis with a frown and then looks away from him. What the hell did I ever see in him? Just then the door opens up and a 17-year-old boy walks out. Sorry, that took a bit longer than I thought it would. The male teen stands 6 feet tall with light brown skin, very short cut white hair, black eyes and full lips. He has a thick body shape with thick arms, big hands, thick fingers, thick waistline, narrow hips, slim butt, thick legs and big feet. He is wearing a purple short sleeve shirt, black shorts that stop above his knees and white sneakers. Ivan looks up at the white-haired male with a smirk. Don't worry about it. He then walks down the hall towards the exit. Now come on. We got a bus to get on. The other 9 then follow after him. Virgil then steps around the corner as he watches the group walk away worryingly. Come on, Virgil. You know that you can't change her mind. His worried look then changes into a determined one. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to at least try. He was just about to follow them, but a feminine voice stops him. There you are, Virgil. We've been looking everywhere for you. Virgil turns around and sees 2 15-year-old girls smiling at him. He then gives both of them a nervous smile. Oh, hey Daisy, Frida, what's up? Daisy, the one who spoke, stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall with light brown skin, black straight hair. That goes down to her shoulders, brown eyes and full lips with brown lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, big B-cup melons, slim waistline, slim hips, curvy butt, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a red sleeveless shirt with a blue flower design on the chest, blue pants and brown sandals. Frida stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall with peach skin, brown hair that's parted on the left side with most of it framing the right side of her face, it also goes down to her back, green eyes and full lips with red lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, mid-C-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy hips, curvy butt, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a red shirt, blue pants and black and white sneakers. Frida puts her hands on her hips as she continues to smile. You forget that you promised to help us out today, didn't you, Virgil? Virgil's eyes widen for a split second before he facepalms himself with his right hand. CRP. The fair, it completely slipped my mind. He then looks at the 2 girls apologetically. Look girls, I'm really sorry, but I have something important I got to do. Frida's smile then becomes a sad frown. You know I was just teasing you when I said you forgot. Come on Virgil, we could really use your help. Daisy takes a step closer to Virgil and looks at him with a slight frown. Yeah Virgil. Is what you have to do so important that you have to go right now? She then gives him a smile. Maybe you can stay and help us out for a little bit, and then we can go with you to help you out. Virgil gives them a nervous smile. No, I really do have to go right now. I would stay a little while if I just had to take Richie his homework, but Sharon really wants my help. And you two know how she hates to be kept waiting. Daisy lets out a sigh, then gives Virgil a smile. Ugh. Okay. She then lightly pokes him on the chest with her right index finger. But remember, you owe us Virgil. Frida gives Virgil a smirk as she crosses her arms over her chest. And tell Sharon that she owes us for stealing you away from us. Virgil looks at Frida with a smile. Sure thing, Frida. He then looks at Daisy. And don't worry, I promise I'll make it up to the two of you. He then turns around and quickly walks to the exit. He calls out to them as he leaves. I come by early tomorrow, so leave me some stuff to set up, okay? The two young women watched Virgil disappear around another corner with sad frowns. Daisy lets out a sigh and turns around. Ugh. So much for having the right time to talk to him. Frida nods her head in agreement as she turns around as well. Tell me about it. When Daisy looks at her with her right eyebrow raised, she gives her a smirk in return. You're not the only one who had that idea. She then puts her left hand on Daisy's right shoulder with a smile. But it looks like we'll have our chances tomorrow. And remember, we promised that the one he doesn't pick would not hate the one he does. Daisy gives Frida a smile and nods her head. Right. The two then walk down the other hallway. Outside. Virgil exits the school and looks around for the group. Now, which way did they go? He then sees Teresa walk around a corner across the street. There. He then quickly jogs after them. Unknown street. Almost 2 hours later. Virgil lightly pants as he looks around. How the hell did I lose them again? He then sees a bus driving down the street towards him. As it passes him by, he sees Teresa with her eyes closed and leaning back in a window seat. Well, there goes the bus. He then quickly looks around and smiles when he sees a taxi across the street. Sitting in the driver's seat is a man, who shakes his head as he watches the bus go by. Some people would fall for anything. He then picks up a book off of the passenger's seat and then starts reading it. The man has brown skin, brown eyes, thin lips, a slim body shape, fit arms, big hands and slim fingers. He is wearing a red cap and a white shirt. Virgil walks up to the taxi driver and looks at him with pleading eyes. Hey sir, can you help me out? When the driver looks up at him from his book, he points in the direction the bus went with his left thumb. Yes, see, I missed that bus and really need to go where it's going. So can you do me a favor and take me to where it's going? The driver goes back to his book as he answers Virgil. Look kid. I read the bullshit on that bus, and if you ask me, you're better off that you missed it. All that's about is to try to trick people out of their money. Virgil's pleading look then becomes a small frown. Look, a girl I know is on that bus and... The driver looks back up at Virgil as he cuts him off. Oh, it's about a girl. Then why didn't you say so in the first place? If you got the money then hop in kid. He waits for him to get in the back, starts the taxi and then drives after the bus. Though if she falls for stuff like that, then I think you can do better kid. Virgil's face fills with a bit more anger, but he decides not to say anything. It doesn't take long before they catch up to the bus and follow close behind it. A unknown street in Mizurufu. 3:40 in the afternoon. Izuku was walking back home with a sad look on his face. Another day of Katsuki putting me down for being quirkless. Us used to be friends really doesn't matter to him at all. But I already knew that. He then stops walking and a small blush forms on his cheeks. Still, at least today wasn't all bad. He then takes his backpack off, opens it, takes out a notebook, zips his backpack back up and puts it back on. The notebook is white in color and is a bit thick. Written in pencil on the cover is, Hero Analysis for the Future, number 13. Izuku opens the book and flips a few pages until he finds the one he is looking for. On the left page is a drawing of Empty Lady and the right page has a bit of information written about her. Underneath the drawing is an autograph from Empty Lady and a phone number. I still can't believe I got to meet and talk to such a appealing woman. Flashback. Empty Lady parks her purple car outside of Izuku's school and looks at him sitting in the passenger seat. Here we are, Izuku-kun. She smirks, seeing him, lightly blushing at what she called him. Have a good day, alright. Izuku looks at her with a shy smile. Thank you again, empty lady. You really didn't have to go out of your way to give me a lift. Empty lady shrugs her shoulders and gives him a big smile. Don't worry about it, Izuku-kun. It was my pleasure. Hell, my popularity is going to go up a lot thanks to you. She then notices the notebook in his hands that he was writing in. She takes it out of his hands and takes a look at it. What have you been writing about anyway? Izuku's eyes widen and his blush darkens. Wait, empty lady, please don't read that. Empty lady looks through the book with her right eyebrow raised. Wow. There are some pretty detailed notes you wrote down. So he's a bit of a hero nerd. Well, at least he's on the cute side. She stops when she sees the drawing of herself. Hey, you're not too bad. This is a pretty good picture of me you drew. She then looks through all of the info he wrote about her. And I see that you were definitely listening to me. Izuku looks at the lady in surprise and with a light pink blush. You like it? Empty lady nods her head and then looks back at Izuku. You sure know your stuff when it comes to heroes and heroines. But you know, there is something missing from my page. Izuku looks at the lady in confusion with his head slightly tilted to the right. Huh? There is? Empty lady holds out her left hand to Izuku with a smile. Do you have a pen on you? Izuku reaches in his right pants pocket and pulls out a pen. He then hands it over to empty lady. Here you go. Empty lady takes the pen and then starts to write in the notebook. She finishes and gives Izuku back the book and pen. Now it's perfect. Izuku looks at what the lady wrote and then his eyes widen. She. He blushes bright red and he feels like there is steam coming out of his ears. She gave me her number. I have a woman's phone number. Empty lady then leans closer and puts her right hand on Izuku's left shoulder. Now that's my work number. If you get yourself in trouble again, just give me a call, okay? Izuku looks back at the lady with an embarrassed smile. Right. I will. I guess I let my imagination get the better of me. Empty lady then puts her right hand on Izuku's left cheek and kisses his right one. She then leans back and gives him a wink with her right eye. Have a good day at school, Izuku-kun. End of flashback. Izuku smiles as he holds his right cheek with his right hand. Meeting the lady was incredible. He lowers his hand and then starts walking again. Not to mention I got to also meet Kamui Woods. So forgot what Katsuki said to me. Today is definitely a good day. Oh. You're the guy who stood up to that giant earlier today. Izuku turns around at hearing the sweet feminine voice. His eyes widen as he looks up into the woman's eyes with a blush. She's really pretty too. I just keep meeting appealing women today. The woman stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall with peach skin, twin high blonde ponytails that go down to the small of her back. They are also in the shape of a heart, pink heart-shaped eyes and full lips with pink lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, DD cup melons, slim waistline, curvy hips, curvy butt, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a pink button-up shirt, a white suit jacket that's left open, a white skirt that stops past her knees and pink 2-inch heels. The woman is looking down into Izuku's eyes with a smile. You are him. Midoriya, right? Izuku snaps out of it and looks at her in confusion, but still has a light blush on his cheeks. Why, yes I am. But how did you know my name? The woman's smile grows slightly and she holds Izuku's right hand with both of hers. I had you tell it to that reporter. What you did was really brave, saving somebody you didn't even know. I think that was really great of you. Izuku's blush darkens as the woman holds his hand. First the lady kisses both of my cheeks, and now this pretty lady is holding my hand. I love today. He gives her a nervous smile. No, it was nothing. Anyone else would have done the same thing. The woman shakes her head and looks at Izuku seriously. No, you're wrong. There are a lot of people that wouldn't do what you did. I like to think I'm a good judge of character, and you are one of the special ones. Izuku looks up at her in surprise and his nervous smile changes into a real one. Thank you, Ms. The woman lets go of Izuku's hand and then smiles. Hey, I've got an idea. Can I give you a ride home? You know, as a reward. Izuku gives her another nervous smile with both of his hands raised. His notebook still in his left hand. No, you don't have to do that. It's okay, really. The woman then clasps her hands and looks at Izuku with puppy dog eyes. But I really want to give you something for what you did. Please, it's just me giving you a ride. She then leans a little closer to him. Pretty please. Izuku nervously gulps as he looks into her pleading heart-shaped eyes. Man, her heart-shaped eyes are really pretty. Oh, what the hell. He then nervously bites his bottom lip. Okay. I would appreciate it, thank you, Ms. The woman then takes Izuku's right hand in her left one. Come on, my car isn't too far away. She then pulls a blushing Izuku down the sidewalk with her. It only takes about 3 minutes for them to get to her car. The car is pink in color and has heart-shaped headlights. Izuku just blinks as he looks at her car. You have a very nice car. The woman gives Izuku an embarrassed smile with her eyes closed. Yeah, pink is my favorite color. She then walks around the car to the driver's side. Well, get in. Izuku takes off his backpack and puts his notebook back inside of it. He zips it back up and walks up to the passenger's side door. He gets in the car with his backpack in his lap and then fastens the seatbelt. He looks at the woman with a smile as she fastens her own seatbelt. All ready to go, Ms. The woman looks at Izuku with a smile. Right. Okay, now which way to? She cuts herself off and looks out of the passenger's window with her right eyebrow raised. Is that a friend of yours, Izuku? Izuku looks out of the window, but he looks on in confusion when he doesn't see anyone. I don't see any. He gets cut off when a white cloth is placed over his mouth and nose. The woman holds the cloth with her right hand and uses her left one to help hold Izuku down. After a few seconds, he stops struggling and passes out. She smiles and then she removes the cloth from his face. She then starts the car and drives down the street. Like I said, Izuku, I know you are already someone special. The smile on her face then becomes a smirk. But I'm going to make you something greater. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for more crossovers. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Many Dragon 5 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.